Welcome to the summer session of ECE 376 Embedded Systems. I'm Jake Lauer, and this is a quick overview, and welcome to the course. Now, before the semester starts, there's a couple things you're going to need to do. One is you're going to need to pick up a lab kit. So here's a lab kit for embedded systems. We'll talk about this a little bit later. It contains all sorts of parts that you'll be using this semester. And when you're done, you're going to need to solder together your own board. So this is a little PIC evaluation board. What it does is it lets you test out your code that we're going to write throughout the semester. It's got an LCD display, push buttons, lights, stuff like that. It's a whole lot more fun in this course if you can actually see your code working. That's what this board is for. So you're going to need one in the course. Send me your mailing address or pick one up. They're available right around May 1st. And inside the kit, you'll have a little thumb drive. The thumb drive contains all the software you're going to need for writing your C compiler, downloading it, stuff like that. We'll talk about that in a sec. So backing up, embedded systems, 376 is about embedded systems. And embedded systems is pretty much anything that includes a microcontroller and electronics, which is basically everything. What you have are inputs. I can send data to my microprocessor. That'd be the sensors, so the microprocessor knows what's happening. I've got actuators connected to the outputs. Like here, I've got a stepper motor connected to your board, so the code can actually do something. And they have a microcontroller. I'm going to use C code or assembly code to control the output based upon the inputs. So this is kind of a fun course where you get to build and test, build, program, and test different devices. And having a microcontroller really frees up what you can do. This is similar to electronics. Electronics is you have sensors and actuators, but no microcontroller. You don't really have to have microcontrollers. For example, the Apollo mission back in the 60s, we got to the moon without microcontrollers. You can do it. Life's a whole lot easier if you do have microcontrollers, though, so this really opens up what you can do. In addition, this is a junior level course. What that means is at the junior level, students don't know what you don't know. So in this course, we've got 30 lectures, which means we're going to be covering 30 things you can do with a microcontroller. In terms of course content, over the summer, the course lasts 12 weeks. The first 4 weeks, we're going to be covering binary inputs, binary outputs, and assembly. How to turn on and off lights, heaters, how to drive speakers, motors, and a low-level programming language, that's assembly. It's really, really powerful, really, really fast, and really, really painful. It's how computers work. Basically, all computer engineers, and probably electrical engineers, should know what assembly is, so you know how computers actually work. And part of the reason we don't program in assembly, it is painful. The next 4 weeks, we're going to switch over to C. Now, C is just a great language. You have access to things like multiply. That's a big deal. You've got for loops, while loops, do loops. One of the prereqs for this course is 173, C programming. If you are kind of rusty in your C programming, don't worry. We just need to use it to add, subtract, multiply, divide, for loops, arrays. Simple stuff like that. You'll pick it up pretty quick. C is a higher level programming language that's a whole lot easier than assembly. Typically, every time you go up in size, go up a language, you make the code much easier to write, but also much slower. So C code is typically 3 to 10 times larger and slower than assembly. Python is typically 3 to 10 times slower than C, and so on. You're trading off computer time versus programmer time. Once you get to C, we can do a whole lot more. We're going to use LCD displays, read keypads, drive stepper motors, read analog inputs. We'll build a HP calculator or RPN calculator, electronic door lock, type in the password, door opens and closes, stuff like that. We'll also look at how to collect data. With analog inputs, I can measure temperature, light, and so on. Every time you collect data, though, I'm going to get different answers. To analyze data, when you're always getting different answers, that's statistics. So we'll cover a little bit of data analysis, meaning chi-squared test and t-test. The last 4 weeks, we're going to switch over to interrupts. Now, interrupts are really confusing. Interrupts are subroutines called by hardware. So here's the confusing part. I've got a program. It's my program. I'm running it. Somebody else is calling subroutines in my program. That's what kind of makes it hard. It's really powerful if you can figure it out, but really odd because you've got programs that you're not calling in the background. With interrupts, I can do multiple things at the same time. With interrupts, I can measure time to 100 nanoseconds, which is really impressive. I can control the outputs accurate to 100 nanoseconds. I can react to rising edges and falling edges within 5 microseconds, which is pretty impressive. Implement digital filters, read GPS sensors, and so on. So that's the last part of the course, interrupts. 3 weeks of lectures, followed by the last test. So the course information. I'm Jake Lauer. The class is offered online. It's left over from fall and spring. It's online over the summer. My office hours I'll be available on Zoom, 8 to noon on Mondays. Throughout the week, I check my emails pretty regularly. Just shoot me an email if you have a question. If need be, I can open up a Zoom link. Zoom works really well for handling problems. I can see what you're doing on your computer and help you out. The textbook on this course is on Bison Academy. So this is the semi-official website for the Electrical Computer Engineering Department. Go to Bison Academy, and it'll take you to a bunch of different courses. One of them is 376. There is a lab kit required in this course. You're going to need this. The lab kit, there is one per student. Everybody needs their own lab kit. Over the summer, it's free. Just pick one up in my office, available May 1st, or else you send me your email address, or actually send me your physical mailing address, and I'm glad to mail you a lab kit. The objective for this course is by the end of the semester, you should be able to solder your own circuit board, be able to interface a microcontroller to binary inputs and outputs, be able to interface a microcontroller to analog inputs and outputs, be able to control those inputs and outputs in assembly and C, and be able to use interrupts to control the precise timing of microcontrollers, precise to up to 100 nanoseconds. In terms of the website, that's Bison Academy. Bison Academy, as I mentioned, is the semi-official website for the ECE department. You've got a dozen different courses up there. Click on 376. It'll take you to this course. Kind of a caveat, if you click on it during the semester, it'll be for that semester. Summer will transition over to summer semester soon as spring semester is over. The syllabus will show up on Bison Academy. This has the daily lectures in PDF format. All the lectures have been recorded, so you can watch the lectures in a YouTube video. That's also where I do demos for the lectures. Sample code. This is code within the lectures. If you don't want to type it in by hand, just click on these guys. That's the sample code. And the homework sets. Now, throughout the semester, when homework set number 1 is due, I'll go over the solutions, post the solutions along with the video illustrating it in homework set number 2. Once the solutions are posted, it's no longer valid to turn in homework set number 1. It takes the challenge out of doing the homework when you got the solutions posted. So the homework is due the following Monday. If you get stuck on the homework, a good place to go is under Homeworks and Solutions. This has homeworks and solutions from previous semesters. The homeworks change every semester, so don't just turn in old homework sets. But this kind of give you ideas of what we did previous semesters, some of the approaches to writing code. Fun place to go is Best of 376. These are various homework sets and term projects from previous semesters. So if you want to see what we did in previous classes, that's one place to go. As I mentioned, the lab kit. There is a lab kit required in this class. So here's kind of what's inside the lab kit. It contains a breadboard, components you're going to solder together. When you're done, you should have a board that looks kind of like this. You get to solder that. It makes the course a whole lot more fun if you have something to write your code, test your code, and again, the whole reason you go into engineering is you want to build stuff. this is where you get to build things. The board also helps in debugging your code. It helps to see what your code is doing to find out what's wrong with it. Now, to build your code, you're going to need a soldering iron. Due to liability reasons, we can't provide that. You can get a soldering iron from Amazon. They're about 30 to 50 bucks each. Just make sure it has an auto shut-off feature. That's kind of a safety issue. And besides, every engineer should have their own soldering iron. Also, in the US, we use 60-40 solder. That's 60% lead, 40% or tin lead, 60% tin, 40% lead. It flows a lot easier, a whole lot easier to use. In EU countries, they use lead-free solder. It works, not quite as nice. That's also available from Amazon. So this is something that you're going to need in addition to the lab kit. Now, if your board quits working halfway through the semester, what I would do is just take your soldering iron and remelt the solder connections. Just touch it for 3-4 seconds, remelt the solder, reconnect it. If your board quits working, it's usually a bad solder connection. There aren't that many connections on the back of the board. Just touch them all up. That'll usually fix the problem. Worst case, I've got a bunch of spare boards. I can send you one. You really need a working board. It makes the class a whole lot more fun to have a working board. And also you need one to demonstrate your homework sets. In terms of how this course is offered, in the summer, this course is offered online only. We do that just because I can offer more classes online than in person. In the spring and fall, this course is offered in person, live stream, and online. If you really want to take the class in person, you need to take it spring or fall. Most people take it online. It's been running this way for a couple of years, and what I've found is maybe 2 people will take it in person. The entire rest of the classes will take just watching the YouTube videos, taking it online. Online seems to work pretty well. In terms of grading, over the summer, there are 3 exams, each worth 25%, and the homework and labs are 25%. Labs are part of the homework, and part of the homework is going to be now program it, test it, demonstrate it. Overall grade is, if you get 90% overall, guaranteed A, 80% B, 70% C. And to get an A or B, keep up with the homework. This is kind of a building process. You learn the assembly that leads into C. The C leads into interrupts. You kind of need to keep up with the course. And oftentimes the grading is bimodal, meaning there's a group getting A's and B's and another group getting C's and D's. If you do the homework, you should have no problem getting A or B. If you aren't doing the homework, then when it comes to the test time, you're kind of struggling because you're not really sure how to write the code. And you got, 100 minutes to write code for 5 different problems. You struggle on the test. If you do the homework, the test should be fairly straightforward. Otherwise, you struggle. Coding is a lot like weightlifting. You got to do it yourself. Watching somebody else code, watching somebody else lift weights doesn't really help. You got to do it yourself. In terms of the homeworks, it's really designed for individual work. If you can work with someone else, that's okay. I prefer not having groups bigger than 2, because once you have a group bigger than 2, invariably somebody gives moral support, the other 2 do the work. That's why we have tests. The homework is kind of a check to see, can you get the coding to work in practice? And that's why I have a board. Part of the homework is to demonstrate that your device works. For doing that, YouTube videos work really, really well. And that's where the videos come from in the Best of 376. People made a YouTube video showing off their homework sets. With their permission, I would link them on Bison Academy. And many of the assignments are open-ended. So like if we're looking at how to measure time, 200 nanoseconds, it's your pick. Your choice what does to what we measure, but you got to measure time to 100 nanoseconds. When we cover stepper motors, is do something with a stepper motor, your choice what it is. And with that, you kind of go through the entire process. What you're probably used to is analysis. Analysis is only one part of a design process. Typically, the entire design is requirements. What are the inputs? What are the outputs? What to do? Hardware and software design, that's your analysis. Test and validation, verify your code works. And then demo. Verify you actually got your device to work. And legal stuff. Attendance is required. How you attend is up to you. Basically watch the YouTube videos. If you have special needs, we will accommodate you. As far as honesty, the point behind that is our graduates will do things like build defibrillators, pacemakers, flight controllers. People's lives depend upon your work. If you can figure out how to get through our courses without learning anything, please don't. You're going to need this information when you graduate. And it's a whole lot easier if you learn it in class than when you get to your job and your boss quickly realizes you don't know what you're doing. If you're a veteran, again, we will accommodate you. So again, this is kind of a fun course. A course where you actually get to build things, make things work. And it's kind of an unfair course. In this course, we have a microcontroller. This course students really tend to like this course. But again, that's unfair because given hardware and a microprocessor, you can do a whole lot more. So again, this is a fun course where we build calculators, pianos, reflex timers, die roll generators, stuff like that, roulette wheels. A course that hopefully you're going to have a lot of fun in. So that's kind of an overview of the course. Before the course starts, though, again, make sure you send me your mailing address so I can send you a lab kit. And I think that's the main thing you're going to need. And get a soldering iron and some solder. And with that, I hope you enjoy the course.